My name is Murphy Daly, and you are joining us here tonight, both video and audio, for the AV Life.
Hi, this is Nancy Blanchard with Williams AV. Happy Thursday, and you are listening to and watching the AV Life.
James King here. You are watching and listening to the AV Life.
And I'm your host, Tim Van Wert, and you are watching and listening to the AV Life. All right, and we are back again, and it's just a crew tonight. We're keeping it simple here, so how are we all doing tonight, folks?
Good.
All right.
Great.
Is it warm where you are, Nancy?
Yes, very warm. And I was thinking about, in Southern California, as they were saying with the Super Bowl, it's going to be hot, Santa Ana winds and things. Here, it all of a sudden
so much
jumped to 79.
Yeah, it did.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's going to be hot this weekend. Yeah, it'll be in the mid 80s.
Please send some of that this way. I'm getting a little
beer.
done with the cold over here. Although I will say, James, we were saying before we got started, we were at like 55 today. It was a nice day here.
Yeah, I had the windows down in the car.
Yeah.
What a concept, huh?
I know, right? Yeah.
Especially after dealing with 18 inches of snow.
See, now that I would have been okay if you had sent some this way. You didn't have to hog it all,
We don't share with North Jersey.
Yeah, we don't play well together for some reason, except for on the AV Life.
But yeah, so Murphy, you'll be pulling out your shorts, I guess, huh?
Already happened.
Nice. Well, I'm sure there's some guy up here in New Jersey that hasn't stopped wearing his shorts. So,
There's always that person in shorts and sandals, and it might be me.
Oh, okay. It's been James. So, it's been a great week. Yeah. So we're looking forward. Well, by the time this podcast comes out, Super Bowl would have already happened. But I am super looking forward to the halftime show, actually. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm really excited for the football game because based on how these last few weeks are, and I don't have Renee here to vibe off of with this, but the last few weeks of games this is shaping up to be probably one of the best Super Bowls, aside from ones that the Steelers are in.
Yeah.
It's going to be a most exciting, game. So it's, and then you got the halftime show, which is like all the rappers from when I was growing up. So like the 90s kid in me is so happy about what's about to transpire at halftime. Like,
I agree. I'm actually looking forward to this Super Bowl. I haven't watched a football game all year just because life. But it's great to see basically two new teams in there. And like you said, the halftime show, it's actually a show I'm excited about. Like, it's not just like, oh, I never heard of that person, or, oh, they're like washed out. And these are actually, like you said, people we grew up on.
Yeah. And the stuff I still throw in my radio every once in a while, just when windows down, driving around, like that's what you throw on.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I definitely think the game's going to be good, even though I'll say it now, I'm predicting it. I think the Rams are going to take it.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
What?
I said, you heard it here.
Heard it here.
Yeah. It's recorded on Thursday night before the game. So yeah, I'm my vote's for the Rams as well. But then again, I'm a Steelers fan, so I don't want to see Cincinnati win. So
Wow.
Oh, people are like, well, you're in the same division, so you should root for them. I'm like, no. I'm not rooting for them. Like this has been good enough for them so far.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
I actually like Matt Stafford, so that's why I think he got a raw deal going to Detroit, and so I am excited to see that he actually has opportunity to show what he can do.
Yeah. So if you're not a fan of football, if you are or not a fan of football, I hope when you're listening to this, you enjoyed your Sunday night, whatever it was you were up to. So, and actually, as this episode comes out, it is now Valentine's Day. So we feel the love of AV as we've done in the past. We have our love for our AV family and our non-AV family or AV adjacent family, as we've called over the years. So yeah, we want to extend our love and support to all of our listeners, as we always do. So happy Valentine's Day.
Um, speaking of AV adjacent,
Okay.
I have an AV adjacent news story, which I just found about this afternoon.
Okay.
There is
Breaking news here, folks.
kind of. There's a radio station in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And they're, those when you're, I remember when I first got a car that did this, I thought I was so fancy. It reads to you the name of the radio station and sometimes the song that's being played, and it goes across the little, yeah. Well, the NPR station in Seattle, the guy who was programming that particular part that plays that information in the head unit of the, the radio and the whatever that is, all of whatever you got in the car, he didn't put the right file name, such that in one particular type of car, a few Mazdas are getting stuck on NPR station. They cannot leave. And that's it. That's all they can play. You can change the volume, but that's it.
Oh.
It's in Seattle.
All right. So if you own a Mazda, don't go to Seattle right now, and don't listen to NPR if you're in Seattle.
Yes. One particular station. That's it.
That one particular station. Yeah. James, as a programmer, what do you have to say about that?
Unfortunately, bugs like this in programming happens. It is odd that a polished program like this does not have a catch into their errors. So basically, what's happening is because the file format is not done correctly, the program that processes the information doesn't know what to do. So it's stuck. It's like, hey, I can't do anything. Most programmers throws a catch in there. Well, it's a little different than a loop. A loop just keeps going over. It's doing something, just never gets out of it. This is just like, hey, I don't know what to do, so I'm just sitting here until you tell me what to do. And I'm not moving.
Information.
Yeah, it needs more information, but you can't get any information because now you can't do anything to update it or any of that stuff. So definitely weird that it doesn't have a catch, but it does happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you,
and it's
NPR
sad.
volunteer is getting fired.
Yeah, someone's head's rolling for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and supply chain comes into it because it's totally bricking. They cannot get it out. So these head units are done and they can't get a new one. Oh, if they could buy a new one, it'd be $1,500, but they can't even get them.
No.
So,
yeah. And it's older model Mazdas. It was saying too. It was 2014 to 2017. So they're ones that they can't even do like an over the air update. It has to be brought into the dealership. So it's also an older head unit that's you'd probably, I doubt, Mazda is making that exact head unit, which means you have dealerships who,
it's like horrible and funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of my favorite sense of humor.
It's like, yeah. So if I got an extended warranty on my car and, if I bought a 2017 and I got a 6 year, if I got a 6 year, 72,000 mile warranty and I was still under that warranty and my head unit went out and I had to wait for a new head unit, I'd be really upset.
You might also be upset at hearing a little too much. What do they call that? I don't even know what they're called anymore. NPR news shows.
Talk radio.
Fresh air, whatever.
Food for your thoughts. I am.
I mean,
everyone in Seattle will start talking.
Yeah, this sounds like that because I'm reading it a little more detail. They're reporting that they lose Bluetooth connectivity, the ability to play CDs, the backup camera, and they can't even charge their phone with the USB port. And they even said that if you disconnect the battery, which we all know in technology, a reboot solves everything.
Yeah, exactly.
You may lose the station that it was locked on and now have nothing.
I'm thinking,
like, this is like a really bad programming somehow.
Yeah.
Some junior entry level programmer is being fired for this.
So yeah, just give it. You know what? Give it to Jack. Jack knows what he's doing. He'll be fine. Yeah, he's only been here 6 weeks. It's gonna be okay. Let him go. It's just the
it's
radio.
hard to find people. So they need to pay their volunteers better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like, this is perfect for us to discuss just a little bit.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah.
This is definitely a good one. Actually, you know what? I
Yeah,
gotta share this on Twitter and actually like this is just too good.
This is fun. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'd be safe because I don't listen to NPR, so it's okay. I know that's probably terrible.
Best days are behind it right now, as far as I'm concerned. You know, Car Talk is gone, so they can't do it. Yeah. So
I don't even listen to regular radio anymore. Like between my Sirius XM and Amazon, like I have no reason to listen to regular radio anymore. Why listen to commercials?
Well, but I had, when I leased my car, you get 6 months free trial with Sirius. And then I thought, you know what, I'm not going to pay for it. And I went through hell for a week because of having to listen to the local radio stations, like you said. And there was one, and no joking, every single station had the same artist singing the same song. I think it was a weekend, and the weekend's like, oh, for me, nails on a chalkboard. And after that, I said, no, enough's enough. I will pay. But local radio stations, they've just lost their oomph.
Okay, this very morning, this is a little family situation here going on. My daughter has this skill / habit of when I'm walking somewhere, we're walking to a location like in a mall or anywhere. She will go right behind me such that she's exactly in my blind spots. I'll be like, where'd she go? And I don't see her. And she's got this skill of lurking. I'm like, what are you doing? You were skulking. You were lurking. She's like, what? I'm just walking. But she has this skill, right? Okay. So she said, I have the skill whenever we are listening to music in the car of talking to her exactly at her favorite part of the song, whatever song it is. So this morning I'm driving her to school and she turns on the radio. She is 13 now and likes K-Earth, which you can imagine is sort of what they play in easy listening, what they play in offices and things like that.
Okay.
But she likes 60s and 70s music. But this particular song, Bohemian Rhapsody. So
nice.
I said, Veronica, and she goes, like, listen to what's playing. I'm like, oh, you're right. We need to listen to the whole thing because there is no part of this song that is not the favorite part for her and for me and for the world, right? So I'm like, I just have to stop and let us go through Bohemian Rhapsody. So, yeah.
But yeah, you know what though? I have to take her side on that, Murphy. You don't interrupt Bohemian Rhapsody.
Started.
I have to agree with Tim.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a high speed train. You just once it's going, you don't stop that. Like that's
okay.
It's like
even more so if you get to the part where it changes with the thunderbolt and lightning. You can't stop that. Like that's
I did have to regain some of my, had to recover from that particular shame and tell her as a mature adult woman, Scaramouche is a real person. So like, I have to have some, something to feel proud of here in this moment. She's like, what? And we had just got to her school, so she had to leave. And I told her how to spell it. She's like, I'm going to just figure that out. So anyway.
Thanks, Mom.
No, she wanted to know. She was
okay.
But she's like, I gotta go. She's like caught between two worlds right there, trying to go to school and me telling her something like, because she's very into history. Anyway, I could tell daughter stories all day. She's amazing. But who's right? She's like,
Well, that's what, yeah, my son is like that with like Imagine Dragons. You know, he likes his like alternative rock type stuff. So even at 7. So yeah, if like, you know, Believer or one of those songs comes on, it's like I'm listening as he's moving his little mouth singing along. It's like it's cute.
It's like the
See,
episode of
that's what radio
Seinfeld
can be for.
and the guy in Desperado. You know that
Desperate.
episode?
No.
There's I forget the title of the episode, but one of the guys that Elaine is dating, every time the song Desperado comes on, he like freeze and listens, and you cannot make any noise or do anything during that.
Sacred.
You don't mess with it. Like we don't talk about Bruno.
The latest of the earworm songs. Have you seen Encanto yet,
Yes.
Nancy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Murphy.
really
Murphy. Yes, you
Very
have to.
good.
You have to watch it, Murphy. Disney. It's a Disney animated movie. The family is Colombian, I
Yes.
think. Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
So, it's really good, and the music's Lin-Manuel Miranda and his group of people, and so it's done very, very well.
Yeah, I wasn't actually interested in seeing it, but my son's really into Disney, and he works at the theater, so hey, we get in for free. So went and saw it, and I was pleasantly surprised. Thought it was very well done.
Yeah, it was very well done. A good story too, and so it's yeah. So yeah, one of the songs is "We Don't Talk About Bruno," and it's that catchy Disney song that sticks with you, and it's shown up in all sorts of, like, people are parodying it, and there are memes, and it's started like a whole.
I'm like, I don't know what that is,
Yeah.
but I don't care enough to find out. Now I know. Thank you.
I saw the movie, and I didn't understand what everybody was talking about with Bruno.
With the
I didn't
movie,
even think it was related to that movie. So
Mm.
I just learned tonight. Thanks, Tim.
Oh, no problem. So, yeah, so that's we saw that. And so the Academy Award nominees came out this week as well, and I was looking at the animated feature film category, and there's 3 Disney movies all lined up for the award. They're out of the 5 nominees, 3 of them are Disney movies, and then the other 2 are some, like, one's a documentary. I've never heard of an animated documentary. It's apparently the first of its kind, and it's in the best documentary category as well. And I didn't check on the other one, but I just thought it was funny that 60% of the category is Disney movie. So
Get your stock. Go buy your stock.
I got my little bit of stock. Yeah.
Well, speaking of things just coming out,
Okay.
isn't it just coming time for that?
Yes.
You were talking about?
Oh, the registration. Yes, there is that registration for those who are. It is Thursday, so if you think back, go back in time, go back to your memories, check your emails. You got a registration email for Infocomm today, and yes, it is time. The registration is available for Infocomm June 4th through the 11th, I believe. 10th, 4th to the 10th. And HETMA would be there, and lots of other sponsors of the AV life and of Higher Ed AV and of HETMA, and all of our esteemed colleagues like Nancy. You are going to be there as well. I think I heard.
Yes, I will be there. And as I said, I just looked at my email quick, and haven't had a chance, but William submitted for me to do a session to talk about AI and breaking the language barriers.
Awesome.
And so it got chosen. So I'm now going to be a speaker. So that's kind of exciting.
Awesome. And
that is very exciting. That is an exciting topic too.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
And I've got the insider information that Joe Way is one of the keynotes as well. So
keynote. Dang.
I could be wrong, but that's what I'm hearing through my my channels. So that's also happening. You know,
Well,
he'll probably talk about his book as well. So
yeah. We also know that Infocomm wasn't getting their sign back unless they brought Joe in. You know, he took it away.
he took their yeah. If you go back to Instagram and stuff like that, you'll find the video that James and I are referring to. So
Yeah.
and we're going to Vegas. So you know, I'm excited. So I am planning on being there. So I will be there for the exhibit time. I'll be there for those 3 days. So yeah, we'll be doing like we did in October. We'll be bringing you updates from the floor. I won't have to record a 200th episode while I'm down there too. So that'll be good as well. So
I'm going to try to go. This might be the first one. We'll see.
awesome.
Yeah.
How long would it take you to get from where you are to Vegas?
Well, if I got on a plane, it would take an hour.
Yeah,
If I
it's
drove,
about
it
a
would
3-hour drive, right? I think from Southern California to Vegas.
Probably 3. Yeah.
Oh, see, that's like me driving to AC. I could do that. Atlantic City.
Yeah.
I could do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
See,
for
for me,
James,
because-
I do
for
that.
James is a 30-minute ride. Yes.
I do that every Wednesday because my class is in Atlantic City campus. So
Right. And I was just finishing an article for Rave Pubs talking about the educational opportunities and resources that Avixa provides at Infocomm. I was talking about, look for it soon. I was talking about the you know, what with this year starting, it's a good time to up level skills. And I kind of meant to talk about AI, but I forgot. I did have a section talking about AV is IT, James.
there
And
you
I
go.
said it's a really good idea to get skills with IT, certain things. And I mentioned networking, of course, security, cloud, and collaboration. And I was thinking AI, but I didn't go there. So if you want to find out about AI, you got to go hear Nancy's presentation, which is going to be off the hook because Williams is really doing amazing things in that field.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, it
And
is.
if you want to hear from Nancy before Infocomm, sign up for HETMA's annual conference. As you are listening to this on Monday, we are starting tomorrow on Tuesday. So, and that's actually the day of your are you Tuesday or Wednesday, Nancy?
Tuesday.
You're
15th.
Tuesday. So yeah, first day. So make
Yeah,
sure you
2:30.
sign up. Yeah, make sure you register as you're listening to this. If you're listening to this on Monday, you still have time to register. Actually, I think you could even register Tuesday morning, I think.
Most likely.
Yeah, we're not starting till 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you got time to, you know, log in and stuff like that.
So the question is, though, is it specific to people higher education, or can others outside of that, such as manufacturers and users, et cetera?
So you can, yes. So to get the full access of the experience of the HETMA conference, you need to be higher ed. But for all of our manufacturing partners and people that are, you know, integrators and things like that, there is another way. Rave is actually going to be providing the streaming for that as well. So you could watch and, you know, participate from a visual standpoint from the from through that channel. So yeah, you can check out what's going on and you know, listen to the great presentations that we got. So, and then on Thursday, a week from today, as we are recording, I will be hosting trivia night. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. So we'll see how that all goes.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great time. If you want more information, go back to last week's episode and also go over to higheredav.com and listen to Joe Way's episode with myself, James, and Troy with Joe. And we will tell you all about the HETMA conference. So do all your work today on Monday, so that way you could check us out for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So yeah, I'm really excited for Infocomm though. I'm just saying that because I mean, I've been to Vegas before. But I only did like 1 day in Vegas, but to be able to hang out with everybody, and this might be closer to the actual Infocomm experience that everybody's been talking about. I feel like we are heading in that direction as a country. So
I'm hoping I can get out there, but right now my life is up in the air, so I got to see how things land with classes and everything else that's going on. And so I'm hoping to be out there. I know Joe said if I didn't make it out there, he would cry. So I don't know if I want to see Joe cry or not. So torn.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what that would be like, having Joe cry.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even think, I agree with you. I don't think I want to see that. So like that just, no. Hey Murphy, do you have a PM minute for us?
Well,
I know we've cut you off for a couple weeks, so I apologize to you and to our listeners for who are looking forward to that on a weekly basis.
yeah, I am working on a book for the AV project manager. And I just finished the chapter on how to do a meeting agenda. And I was thinking about how to narrow it down. Like, that's the problem. All this information has to be narrowed down to a small amount so that you can deal with it. But I wish I had a cute term for this. I don't really. But the thing is, it's all that information. You have to be open to all of it from lots of sources. And in the meeting itself, lots of people will come out, and it's chaotic in a meeting. You're like, wait, someone's saying that, and is this important? And casting the net very wide to hear what people have to say, to capture all of the input, is actually really important. This has to do with listening and hearing all the voices, because I don't know where the critical piece of information is going to come from. I will have created my project plan and kind of know where things are. But the thing that's going to, kind of change my perception, that change the whole plan sometimes, could come from lots of different places. So the PM minute is be very open-minded and receive all the information. You don't have to act on all of it, but grab it all. Let it in. Don't cut off what people are adding. And that's really helpful to a successful project, to hear all of it. Let it come in. It can flow off if it isn't actually important, if you already know it, or if it's not going to affect things, but hear it, let it come, and invite it.
I like it.
Because you never know who's going to come in and say, we had the plan to do it on that day, but did y'all realize that that's the day that the next door building is going to explode and we all have to not be on the site? And you never know who's going to know that and go, oh, well, that changes everything.
Yeah, that does. Yeah.
Yeah. And that comes from lots of random sources.
Well, yeah, that's extra eyes, ears, and feet on the ground that are everywhere. And it's like you said, casting that wide net, to be able to access all the information. Effective listening. There it is.
And also holding a stance that allows for lots of that information to come, not being too rigid in my meetings. Like, this is what we're doing. Okay. Are you done? Are you done? We're done. Go. Like, I've been that sometimes, but I've learned, shut up, say, is there anything else I didn't remember? Is there anything else you feel like you need to bring up? Is anything tickling in the back of your head? Oh yeah, it turns out the next door is going to explode, so let's not do it that day.
No. So there's a difference there between letting that happen versus just going off on tangents. So you need to have a loose structure in a way, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Because I've had groups that I've been on projects with that's what happens. It's like we start talking about what's happening with the project, and then all of a sudden, like, we talk about speakers, and then it'd be like, hey, did you see that video on YouTube of the speaker array that fell down on the crowd, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, well, hold on, time out. It's like,
Yeah. And there's definitely an art to it, and it's a skill. I didn't, I had to learn it, and I'm looking forward to being able to capture it all and share it in the form of a book soon. But still, keep your mind open, even though it's hard to do. I got to stay hydrated on this hot day.
sorry, I'm sitting here, Murphy, and I got a notification on my phone from ESPN, and that TJ Watt was named the Defensive Player of the Year just now at the NFL honors, and very well deserved. He is an awesome defensive player for the Steelers, and so I was having a quick moment there. So it was very, very exciting. But yeah, so it's yeah, I like that, Murphy. Thank you for that. That is a prime example of what you should not do during a project, is get off the get off the rails like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was happy about, James. in our little chat. In our little chat. That was it. Yeah. So, well, my wife and I have been talking about it. It's like, he needs to get this award this year. It's like, he has done a fabulous job. And so
Yeah.
we're very happy as Steelers fans. So
That's good.
yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Murphy. Appreciate that. I'm glad to have that back this week.
Well, there's always some project that's cooking.
Oh yeah, there always is. Yeah. And I know, like, as far as we're concerned, project wise for the summer, for us, we're still trying to plan on certain things during the summer, but we've been talking about it on the higher ed AVIT group that James runs. We've been talking about it on the HETMA group. It's like, lead times are still ridiculous. It's like, if you're trying to plan for this summer, you're already behind. Like,
Not only lead time, but this inflation rate is going to be bad, which is going to increase interest rates. And I was telling my coworker, I'm saying we're going to be seeing 15 to 20% increase across the board on everything. And I've heard from somebody, not any products I ordered, but someone I know who need to order some equipment. Their most expensive equipment that they had to order, 25% increase.
Oh,
yeah.
This year.
Yeah, it happened. Yeah. It went
Towards
in effect February 1st. It went in, the 25% increase went in effect February 1st. Like he was struggling trying to get the order in before that deadline. But yeah, it's crazy out there, and there's definitely the inflation rate. It's not going to help, and interest rates are gonna go up.
And it's interesting you say that, James, because actually I got an email on Monday from one of our integrators. He's doing a project for another building that we don't support, but we have provided AV assistance for. And he noted that Crestron at the end of this month is putting a 10% increase in. So they're already calling for a 10% increase. And I think Biamp is already doing it. Biamp already implemented their recent price increase. So it's happening.
Oh yeah, it's crazy out there. And then besides that, can you get the stuff? They want to charge us more, but not give us the stuff.
And delivering it, having it at all, being manufactured and delivering it are not to be taken for granted.
Yes, I heard there's now this is rumor, but I heard there might be a Dante chip shortage as well. I've seen that a couple times, and that's why I think there's some credibility to it, because it's not just once I heard it. I've heard it multiple times over the last couple of weeks. So with all of us that are moving in that direction for our audio sources, that's big. That's huge. Like, so.
Answer yes.
Was that?
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes. There is a shortage. So
Quick,
it's gonna be
hoard.
Yeah, hoard them all. We're not doing any installs. We need backups.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna prove to be, I don't want to say challenging, but I think it is. I think it's gonna be a challenging summer. We need to plan long term for how we're doing things. It's like, yeah, we were starting to have this discussion if we were going to do anything during spring break, and I was like, well, if it's not here yet, I don't think we're gonna be able to do it in time, because you're talking 6 weeks. It's like that's normal lead times. So it's like yeah.
I think in a situation like this, you're going to see a couple things. One, you're going to see relationships get tested and get stronger, because you're going to leverage those relationships to get the equipment that you need. I mean, I'm already talking to my manufacturers and my vendors and giving them the heads up of what we need and when we need it by, and they're doing their magic to try to achieve that. But also, I think you're going to see a switch in AV, and you're going to see even more than it's already is, a IT mindset of a lot of software driven and other IT driven services roll out in AV, just so we can move forward.
Right, because there's no supply chain issues on software.
Yep.
Yeah, you could create a software solution, download it, and have it at your fingertips. So yeah, I could see that would, I could also see little pop-up integrated circuit board manufacturing plants happen here in the States. If it really came down to it, like I could see that happening, chips being made here. I mean, we used to do it. And I think every university that has an engineering program has a clean room, I think, like of the larger ones. I know Rutgers has one. I know NGIT had one. So, what's to say? I mean, they're not mass producing chips, but if there needed something to be made.
So that's another thing I keep suggesting that's going to be leading to price increase is a lot of manufacturers are doing what is called just-in-time inventory and supply chain. We see how that's hurting, and especially us in higher ed, we have a duty to our university, our students, and we don't always have brand loyalty. We like to try, but our loyalty relies to our students in our school. So if our brands do not have the product, but the competitors do, we might have to switch. So I think you're going to start seeing manufacturers increasing their inventory in stock, which then increase their inventory costs on their books, which also also requires warehouse, which again increase costs. And manufacturers are not going to eat that cost. That's going to be pushed out. So there's a lot change that the supply chain storage is causing. It's going to cause a ripple effect across everything.
Yeah. Well, I heard, who was it this morning? I heard on somebody was experiencing a shortage, and I'm trying to remember like the weirdest thing that it was. Oh, it'll have to come to me. They'll come to me later. Oh, Girl Scout cookies. That's what it was. It was something about the Samoas and the s'mores.
Oh, okay.
One of the ingredients or something from those cookies, they couldn't get it because of supply chain issues. So like those are like in short supply. So there's a chance if you are a fan of the Samoas and of the s'mores, you may not get, or it will be delayed in you getting your cookies. So I'm sorry to have to report that. But what there is not a shortage of is chocolate. And that was what my wife was just telling. That's why my wife was just telling me. My son is selling chocolate for Easter as one of his school fundraisers. So with they're saying they have plenty of stock of chocolate. So don't worry.
I
That's
heard
good.
rumors that there was a shortage of hazelnut, but I don't know if that was confirmed. I'm like, I like.
I also
hazelnut.
heard there was a shortage of cream cheese. So I
heard that too. And there's, I've actually seen it in stores where it's hard to get. So
I wonder.
I just use it. I just get it on my bagel occasionally. So my
my
bagel place hasn't run out yet. So
my wife cooks with it a lot. So we always pick up packs here and there when we're at the doing our shopping. So like I say, I don't think we have struggled very hard to find it, but there's been times it's like, oh, there's nothing here. And then like 2 days later, they'll be restocked or something like that.
all right. Well, you know what? Actually, one of the funniest thing, and of all the things, Eggo mini pancakes.
Oh.
Of all the things, we cannot get Eggo mini pancakes. Like my ShopRite, and I talked to the guy that like the freezer section manager at my ShopRite, and he's like, I put in the order every week and I get maybe one case of 8 of them. And I'm like Eggo, what are you doing? They have waffles. They have tons of waffles. Every waffle you could ever possibly imagine. Mini waffle, big waffle, Mickey waffle, but no, and they have full-size pancakes, but not the mini ones.
It probably they need the machine for something else.
I'm guessing. I don't know what else they're using it for, but that machine is not producing their mini pancakes. So I can get any other brand that I want, but the Eggo ones are good.
Well, I'm keeping my eye on the eggs because they get more and more expensive every time I go to the store. So I figure the chickens are negotiating a raise frequently.
Are they having well, chickens can't have sit-ins because they're already sitting. So
they're working with the cows.
They're working with
the situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
The cows are going to hold back the milk and
well, the cows are doing the supply chain issue. Remember?
Oh, right. That's right. The dairy transport. Yes.
Because right now in my neighborhood, it's like $4 a dozen. So.
Wow.
Yeah, that's.
What about Murphy? You have Trader Joe's there. Have you checked at Trader Joe's?
I will check again, but they were 3 something last I looked.
Yeah.
I got ShopRite brand cage free, whatever, brown eggs for 2 for $5. So it was 24. It was a 2 dozen for $5. So
nice.
Which,
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We tend to eat a lot of eggs, but I'm like, wow, I don't know. And me, I'm like, I don't know, what with things being what they are, I've done a little bit of stocking up, not exactly prepping, but I've got enough beans and rice to last for 2 weeks if we need to.
Yeah, there
you
go. That'll get you.
I remember like the 2 years ago when like things started like shutting down. I was like, I went out and I bought like pasta and sauces and stuff like that. Like it's like this stuff will keep. I know it'll be fine if we just need to live on spaghetti and sauce for 2 weeks. I could do it. Like
yeah.
So, all right. Well, it is. I think I've reached that time in the evening. Yeah, I think we're there. Yeah, I think it's. But this is a good one. We got a little off the rail. I got us a little off the rails this time, but that's okay.
Well, it's great to hear Nancy's news of her exciting presentation, which we just found out. Breaking news.
This was great. Yeah, this is all breaking news today.
And it's I'm getting back out on the road the end of February. I'm in Denver.
Whoa.
For some meetings and now a trade show in Montreal that was canceled because of when COVID had started.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Man.
I'm no longer chained to the inside of my house. I can actually get out and talk to people.
I will say it was a little weird. I was watching the Devils play the Canadians the other day, and the arena was empty, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot they're in Canada. And I'm like, I was like,
Yeah,
oh
but it's
yeah,
really,
it's that.
it's weird because I think, isn't it New Jersey that mask mandate is that you don't have to wear them anymore?
Well,
And
we're
like,
still
you
still under
are?
mask, but yeah, if we're indoors for things like that, I think it's up to the individual arena, but like
Yeah.
Prudential Center still is masks unless you're actively eating or drinking. So always keep the beer in
Yeah.
hand.
But
So
I
today,
just heard that Vegas dropped it.
Okay.
California is dropping it. And the thing is I was in Whole Foods and then all of a sudden it hit me because, you know, I'm wearing a mask and others are, and this lady walks in with no mask. And then I thought, oh, has that happened now that actually you can choose whether you want to wear a mask or not?
Well, actually, I personally have stopped wearing a mask for all this year because I don't want to comply, and there's a health crisis, mental health crisis. So I'm like, I'm gonna freaking smile at people because I think people need that more than my non-germs. So that's
I like that stance there, Murphy. That's nice. But yeah, and then effective March 7th, the mask mandate is being dropped for for students here in New
K for
Jersey.
12. I don't know
K
the
through
higher
12.
ed yet.
I think it's gonna be they're gonna leave it to the individual institutions. That's what it's gonna be.
Yeah,
I think.
same with even the K for 12. They're letting the school districts determine if they want to keep it or not.
And I guarantee my gut is saying they're going to leave it on the parents. So that way they can just not deal with any parent at all. It's like, if your kid wants to wear a mask, great. If not, no big deal. That's what's going to end up happening.
Oh yeah, I think that's going to happen.
But you know, this is the thing. If you don't wear the mask and let's say that you get the Omicron, well, does that mean that you're going to be forced that 5 days so you can't go to school as it stands now? Because my son, he said the majority of the kids all have COVID. No one's coming to school.
Well,
because I
But
mean,
they're still going to follow that guideline.
it's going to be this, you know.
Yeah, that quarantine thing is kind of goofy.
It is.
Yeah, but the masks, there's a lot of studies now out saying they really don't do anything. So there's that.
Well, and I heard there's like different levels of protection depending on, like the cloth ones really don't do anything anymore. And it's the paper ones are okay.
And also even the ones that are like the N95 are not meant for children. No, they don't work on kids because
no,
the wrong size.
Right.
They don't fit my face.
Yeah,
they're too large.
Right. And so the ones that actually do work that they use in surgery are way more significant, and they do seal, but you can't just walk around with those.
And I wouldn't be able to. I'd have to shave. Like, I think you need to have you have to have the seal though. I think so.
It's a whole situation, and that is not what's happening. Is we walk around in our little Steelers masks on or whatever you're using. So it was something that was tried, and it's kind of fading. I knew it. Did I know it?
I was like, wait, I do have it. It's sitting right here next to me.
I called you out on that.
Yeah, you called me out on it. Although it's funny because it's actually been sitting down here. I haven't worn this one in a while, so it just happened to be sitting here on my desk.
Yeah. It's for if you're around vulnerable people and you still need to scream and cheer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, if an elderly person comes by, yay, Steelers.
So we'll see what happens over the course of the next couple weeks, and leading into Infocomm and ISE and all those fun things. So
and HETMA. Don't forget to sign
and HETMA. Well, HETMA's virtual, so you're safe at home with HETMA. So you try register and listen in, or if you're non-higher ed, go over to Rave and get your links from there. Catch Nancy, myself, James, Murphy. We got to get you in on this somehow. I don't want you being left out.
Well, we'll talk about it. We can talk about it. Yeah.
We'll figure out a way to get Murphy in with HETMA. So, all right. Well, thanks for listening tonight, folks. Happy Valentine's Day again. Enjoy your evening with your loved ones. And until our next adventure.